our children at home. My name is Hawa Ibrahim, your national value teacher. In our previous lesson, we learned about food. We defined food, where we get food from, that's the sources of food, and the food we eat in our locality. So today's topic is Public Health Enlightenment Campaign. Public Health Enlightenment Campaign. Public health enlightenment campaigns are ways of educating people on how to protect and prevent themselves from illness. Public health enlightenment campaigns are ways of educating people on how to protect and prevent themselves from illness. All sorts of illness. There are ways you can take care of yourself to prevent you from getting some certain kind of illness, like cholera now. If you take bad water or dirty water, you can have that illness. So, and all sorts of things. There are a lot of things. Even rotten food, don't eat it because it can cause harm. It can cause you harm, etc. So, this enlightenment focus on drug abuse. What is drug abuse? Taking drugs without doctor's prescription. So don't ever take drugs if it's not your parent that gave you, or it's not doctors that prescribe it for you. Don't just go and take any kind of drug. If you see drug in your mother's room, you just decide to take it because you're having headache or stomach ache. Please, children, avoid that. And HIV/AIDS. The campaign also focus on HIV/AIDS education. What is the meaning of HIV? HIV means human immune deficiency virus, and AIDS means acquired immune deficiency syndrome. So the campaign focus on this thing. There are ways we can contact this HIV and AIDS. From HIV, if it gets worse, it will lead to AIDS. So there are ways we can acquire this illness through the use of sharp objects like needle, like through injection, or if someone is sick now, if somebody is sick and through this blood transfusion, if the other person is having it, and if they through blood transfusion and etc. And first aid. What do you understand by the word first aid? First aid is a drug taken or given to a patient before the person is taken to the hospital. So you should always advise your parents to keep first aid box for you. There are some drugs that you should make sure you have it at home, like paracetamol, like Flagyl, like spirit, cotton, etc. You should all have it at home for any emergency. There are ways of making public enlightenment. It can be done through the following: through radio. If you listen to the radio, you will hear that at times you will hear people enlightening you hear it from the radio, that. And 2, pictures or banners. 3, TV program. If you watch TV very well, you listen or watch the way people enlighten people on things to do and not to do. Through newspapers. I know you don't read newspapers, but if your parents read it, they can tell you this is what is happening today in the newspaper. House to house campaigns. There are people that will go from house to house to enlighten people on things to do and things not to do. Religious group. If you used to go to the mosque now, at times after Salah, the Imam will stand up and enlighten you guys on things. And even in the school, your teachers can advise you on things that should be done and things that not to be done. Mention, this is your homework. Mention 4 ways of making public enlightenment done. 2, From the way you understand drug abuse, explain it in not less than 2 lines. And this is my contact number, 08067806971. That's all for today, children. Assalamu alaikum.